What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. So in today's video, we are going to be ranking the top 10 Horseman of Apocalypse, Apocalypse infused champions, whatever you want to call it. So any champion that's affected by Apocalypse via Horseman or Synergy will be on this list. And I'm just ranking the top 10 of them. So at the number 10 spot, it's kind of a BS pick, but I just chose any mutant that doesn't have a specific interaction with Apocalypse. So this is mutants like Sunspot, Colossus, Omega Red, Magneto, people like that just can become Horsemen, not gain any really special benefits like other ones on this list, but just gain the Unstoppable, the Unblockable when purifying, prowess, potency, and stuff like that. So there's no specific spot on this list for number 10. It's just all the mutants that aren't affected directly by Apocalypse, because it still helps them a lot, and it can be really good, especially for like people with Professor X, Sunspot here, Colossus that do big special damage. The extra prowess can help them a lot. The Unstoppable is really good just for staying and finding openings, and the Unblockable can be useful in certain scenarios, especially here with Sunspot, where you can just have unblockability basically the entire fight by purifying the debuffs. So it's fun interaction to have, and it's just a solid thing for all mutants to have, but it doesn't make them absolutely bonkers like some of the other mutants on this list. So any mutant basically comes in at number 10, and we're going to move on to the actual basically start of the list with number 9. So let's get into that. Alright, so at number 9 we have Kang, and Kang has a very specific synergy with Apocalypse that says that every 5 seconds, I think, he gains one permanent fury buff. So this is pretty good, as in you can just ramp up your damage like a baby Star-Lord, a lot of people call it, and it's just very nice for Kang because without it he is practically useless. And it's really good for making openings and actually having damage in those openings, because you get the stun off the special 1, power drain off the special 2, but via the synergy you can actually get damage from it and not just the small utility. So I do like that about Kang. And I will let this play out a little bit because I do want to show you how much his damage does ramp up. Like at the beginning, we were hitting for, I think, 500 medium crits. And as of now, we haven't really seen a crit on a medium yet, but we're up to 8 Furies. There we go, 1,200. So in less than half of our ramp up, he's already doing like 700 damage more than he did before, which is really cool. This is 3,000 heavy attacks. And this is also off of a rank 2 4-star. So these are actually solid numbers coming from him once he's ramped up. Has a 3,000 special 1. So he feels really nice to play once you have this all going up. We have 12 Furies, 13 now, and it just feels very nice to see the damage constantly going up. But knowing that there's the cap is a little bit annoying. I wish it would just go on for the entire fight, because if it went on for the entire fight, he would be one of the best ramp-up champions in the game. Just consistently ramping up. As long as there's like no nullifying the matchup, you're going to be absolutely fine, and you're going to go absolutely crazy with your damage. So we're almost at the full ramp. I just want to show what he can do. He's at 2,000 mediums now, so it's increased by 1,500, which is a really substantial increase off of a 4-star especially. Here we go, 5,000 special 1 up from a 3,000. Our heavy attacks are almost doing 5k, and right here we'll just end this segment. He's doing 2,200 mediums now, and I'm really liking it. So Kang comes in at the number 9 spot. Alright, so coming in at number 8, we have Storm Pyramid X, and she has a very simple interaction with Apocalypse where she just gets more damage. It's very simple, and it makes her a lot better. So Storm Pyramid X is solid on her own. She's like probably around high demigod or just normal god tier champion. But with the damage that she gains from Apocalypse, she goes absolutely nuts with it. And I just want to keep in mind that my Storm is not awakened, so you will not be seeing the Lightning Tempest mode unless I activate my special 3. But the damage does go a bit crazy. Your prowess do more damage naturally because of Apocalypse, the Horseman synergy alone, and then the specific Horseman synergy with her just gives her more crit rating, crit damage, and it's really good because the crits are really where you get your damage from on her, on the special 2 especially. So once you get those hitting, you're going to be doing absolutely monster chunks of damage. She turns into like basically a Sunspot type level like damage output, but probably more consistent because you're getting more crits with your crit rating increase off Apocalypse. So Storm Pyramid X just becomes an absolute beast with Apocalypse. I really like her. I'm going to see if we can build up to 1 special 1 just so I can show you how much damage it does. Not special 1, special 2, because it does go pretty crazy. So right now I have the Lightning Tempest because I did activate my special 3, so I got it. And the prowess luck isn't going too good here. You see I haven't gotten some in a while, and now I just did. So I'm going to try and back off as soon as I can, and then I'm going to go for a special attack. I think I actually do mess up and go for a special 3, so we'll just show that. Yeah, there we go, I messed up. But I charge my prowess, and we're going to see just how much damage this does off of the rank 1 6-star. So she's just going to launch it. Goes from 81 immediately to 78. So I knew this was going to be a lot of damage because it usually only does 1%. We just strike our lightning down and takes her down to 65. So that was almost a 90,000 special 3 off of a rank 1 6-star. So it's really good. I love her interaction with Apocalypse. So she comes in at number 8. And now coming in at number 7 is possibly the most overlooked Horseman of Apocalypse, and that is Psylocke. So once Psylocke gets into it and she can just do the damage, it's insane. So you can see we're going to try and build up Captain Marvel to a lot of power. But the first thing you're going to notice is that I'm gaining those little red charges on myself, which actually do the damage on the burst of the heavy attack. That is only with the Apocalypse energy that you can build them so fastly, so it's really nice. Now I want to push her up to a full special 3 bar power, and then throw my special 2 off so that I can fully power drain her, and then go absolutely nuts with my own power drain that'll keep her permanently locked throughout the entire fight. Now, something I do want to point out is that I did not realize you can do this via special 1. So if you just throw 1 special 1 right after they're at a low bar power, you can completely power drain them, and that'll power drain for the whole fight. So something I just want to keep in mind for you guys if you want to try this out, because I was not doing it ideally, wasn't doing it the best I could, and I do want you guys to know you don't have to do what I'm doing here. Just launch a special 1 after they throw a special 1, and you'll be doing absolutely fine. But I finally get it off here, bait out special 2, and then since she's power locked, she can't do anything. And then she's going to throw a special 1, and you see I put that purple power lock thing on her, and that means she cannot throw a special attack. So now we're basically just backdrafting into her. Very easy. We have 26 of those charges on us, and our damage is actually going up. As you can see, we are hitting for like more damage than we were in the start of the fight. It was like 900 mediums before, now it's 1600, so it's a really solid damage ramp up. And you can see the special 2 actually does hit for a fair bit of damage, especially considering that I'm only using a rank 1 5-star. So it shows you that she has a lot of room for improvement, and I actually do want to rank up my Psylocke in the future just so I can show this interaction more, because I love her playstyle, as in like the animation she has. She feels really smooth to play, so I definitely want to think about taking her up in the future. But I just do want to show that this is a very potent Horseman ability. Once I get up to 50 of the charges, I'm going to launch off a heavy attack, and we're going to see how much damage it does. But as you can see here, she's still power locked, hasn't gained power in absolute ages, and this really does make her like the best power control champion in the entire game, because there's no other champion that can do it where they just never gain power. So something really cool off of Psylocke. And then I just think I'm going to do one more combo. I'm going to get up to 52 of these charges right there, and I'm going to parry and then throw off a heavy attack, and it does 26,000 damage in the red. That's off a rank 1 5-star. So absolutely insane abilities from Psylocke, and she's just a really good horseman. So she comes in at number 7. All right, so coming in at number 6 is going to be OG Storm. So OG Storm, once she's ramped up via Apocalypse, has probably the best damage over time effect in the entire game, and I'm not afraid to say that. So basically all you have to do with her is throw off 1 special, get a shock on the opponent, and you've basically won the fight, as long as you can parry and just keep those shocks going. So I'm not going to do special 1 because it doesn't have a guarantee to place a shock on the opponent, so I think it's like a 65% chance, so it's like a Mortal Hulk stun. That's actually 10,000 off the special 2, which is not bad for a rank 2 5-star Storm, considering she isn't really known for her damage. So anyway, we got 7 shocks, and although they don't look like they're doing a lot of damage, we are going to build it up so highly throughout this fight, and it's just going to start going insane. So I know Bureau Man has a lot of Storm gameplay. I was actually going to start recording some Abyss gameplay and ranking her up, but then he jumped on it first, so respect to him. I do recommend you watch a lot of his Storm videos, because he's done countless Abyss fights with this person, and she's just absolutely insane in long form content. So as you can see here, her heavy attack isn't bad if you can get them against the wall, but it is really bad for intercepting, which is why I don't put her higher up on this list, because the shocks don't have the longest uptime and duration. So sometimes if you're in a pickle and you really need a refresh, you don't really have an opening to a heavy attack. It can be kind of annoying, which is why she's not placing higher. Now champions like Mr. Negative or Strife, Cable have a much longer reach on their heavy attack, so they would probably place higher if they had the same abilities as her, just because you can find openings. But she's still really insane. As you can see, we're almost up to 2,000 damage per second, and this is only at 43 shocks. So at 50, it's around 5,000 damage per second off a rank 2 5-star. So I don't really think I need to say much more about Storm. Everyone knows she's insane with the Horseman ability, and for me, she comes in at number 6, just showing you how crazy the rest of this list is going to be. All right, so coming in at number 5 is going to be Strife. Now, sadly, I do not have a Strife, but we can see his synergy with Apocalypse here, that the final hit of the special 2 will pause all shocks on the opponent. That's not really that good. It's like, fine, whatever. What's really good is once he becomes a Horseman, he becomes passively unblockable as long as you have 20 telepath charges. So this isn't something like Storm where you need to parry, you need to get your heavy attack off. As long as you're going to have your 20 telepath charges, you are going to be unblockable, which is, in my opinion, much more utility than Storm brings to the table because she relies on damage over time. So in debuff immune matchups, stun immune matchups, she's just going to be much worse than Strife would be. And for that reason, I have Strife above. I don't really have much gameplay or anything to say of him because I don't have him as above a 3-star, but he is a beast, and I really want to get him soon so I can not only use the Horseman ability with him, but also the synergy with Apocalypse. So for now, he comes in at 5, but he could go higher or lower depending on if I get him. And moving right on into number 4, we have Wolverine. So I was testing Wolverine before this, and I kind of forgot to make him a Horseman. I was like wondering why his damage wasn't that good, and I realized, oh wait, he's not a Horseman. So without the Horseman ability, your crit rate is not nearly as high, which is absolutely essential if you're using Wolverine, because it allows you to place the critical bleeds more frequently, and just bleeds in general. Because I was playing him before, and I was averaging about like 2 to 4 bleeds on the opponent at a time, whereas if I activate this Horseman of Apocalypse, it goes up to like 7, like basically 7 at a time usually. So right now I have some pretty bad RNG. I only have 6 up, but I get right up to 8 and 7. So once I'm in this state, I can just keep the bleeds going. I'm at 28 hits so far, and she's already down to almost a quarter of the way. And the other thing I want to point out is you saw we got hit in the beginning of the fight, but our health has slowly been going back up because Wolverine's regen is just absolutely through the roof bonkers. We're up to 80% already again almost, so it's really, really good regen. And it's one of the reasons why he ranks so high, because not only does he have the damage, he has the sustainability to go along with it. And he's just really good with this. So I will point out that if there is a bleed immune matchup, he is useless because all of his damage comes through these bleeds. But I'm also only using a rank 3 5-star, so this is not the highest amount of damage output you'll ever see off Wolverine. But considering it is a rank 3 5-star, he's doing some really good DPS. So yeah, I think I value him higher than Strife just because of the damage that he can do while in this like crazy god mode bleed thing. But yeah, as you can see, we're almost up to 100% health, and it just solidifies in my mind that Wolverine is a top 4 Horseman, at least for me. So we're going to move on to number 3 next, but Wolverine is a really good Horseman, comes in at number 4. All right, so at number 3, I have the most underrated Horseman of Apocalypse. Psylocke's probably second most underrated, but Gambit is just stupid underrated when it comes to his Horseman ability. Right now, we're blocking. You can see we're doing a lot of perfect blocks, and now, since we're at the 10 charges, it is going to be only perfect blocks from here on out. So, for example, we could tank Punisher 2099's entire special 2, take 0 damage from it. There could be plus 1 million block penetration, block that same special 2, nothing's going to happen because we have the perfect block 100% of the time with Apocalypse. So he doesn't need to be a Horseman to do this. Right here, I throw the heavy attack to convert it all into prowess, and I'm going to throw it off my special 2. She blocks, so that was really, really annoying because I couldn't get my damage off, basically. But it's fine. We're going to keep going in. And I do want to point out that I'm not even running suicides or the power boosters in this fight, and those things absolutely send Gambit through the roof. So this is just standard non-suicide Gambit, and it's still really, really good. I love his perfect block ability. I value it very highly. So right now we're going to throw in another special 2, and it's going to be blocked again, which is extremely annoying, but it's fine. So we're just going to throw this off, and then we're going to build up to one more special 2 after we get our 10 charges, and then that one's finally going to hit, and we'll be able to see what damage that Gambit can do. So on his base, the damage isn't that good. It's okay. It's like whatever. It's just kind of underwhelming. But the special attack damage is where you're going to see the true sauce from Gambit. So right here, we finally convert into prowess again, and we're finally going to see that connection. So 4,000, 11,000, no crits there. But on a crit, that would have been a 35,000 second hit, which is really good. And when if you're running suicides or power boosters, then that's going to be around 70 to 100,000. I throw off a special one to stun lock for a little bit, throw some heavies, get a concussion. And then, yes, so Gambit I just value super highly solely because of that perfect block ability, because no other champion has it, aside from, like, Sunspot. But Gambit I find more reliable by Apocalypse, and that is why I value him so highly. So he comes in right after I throw the special 2, get all my prowess. He will come in at number 3 on the list, and then the top 2 on this are just going to absolutely blow everyone out of the water. So Gambit, number 3. Alright, so deciding number 1 and 2 was very hard, but I decided at the end of the day to go with Cable at number 2. So, things I have to point out, I am not using Cable as a horseman or with suicides in this video. And the suicides really help him out, because you essentially don't throw special attacks with Cable, you're just throwing heavies, and that means you're going to absolutely do much more damage with your, synergies, or not synergies, suicide masteries. And the damage here is just absolutely crazy. So something you want to point out is that you really want to throw your heavy attacks when they're at a low bar of power. So right now, when our soldier is very low, you can counter his special one with your heavy attack, and that's when you get your most degen damage, when they have low bars of power. So as you can see, it's already down to 74%, which is absolutely crazy. So this is my rank 3 6-star Cable. I only did this because I love how fast it was and how convenient it was. And I haven't regretted a single day that I've taken him up. I use him so much every day. He does so much for me, whether it's in AQ or it's just general questing. He makes everything so easy, potion farming, whatever you want. He's just an absolute beast mode champion. As you can see, down to 47% and only 28 hits. So he is one of the best damage outputs in the entire game, damage per second wise. And we're just absolutely rinsing this Winter Soldier. We're topped up. We're at like 99% health. If your Cable's also awakened, you're going to get more power gains. So you can throw more special 2s, which are going to do some damage. So Cable is just an absolute beast. I couldn't put him any lower than the top 2. And there's only one reason that the champion above beats him out is because he has damage and utility. So we're going to move on to that spot, and I'm pretty sure you all know who it is. So Cable, still amazing, comes in at number 2. And so that means that number 1 on the list is Archangel. So Archangel without Horseman of Apocalypse would still probably land about halfway on this list, but Archangel with Horseman of Apocalypse is absolutely unmatched. You have a nearly guaranteed bleed on every hit of your heavy, nearly guaranteed neurotoxin conversion. You can see 2 poisons have turned into 6 neurotoxins, and you haven't seen Juggernaut go unstoppable once. So this is just an absolutely absurd ability, because it makes the most potent ability on Archangel that much more potent. You can pause the duration of your neurotoxins. You can throw off special attacks so much easier because there are going to be so many more neurotoxins and stuns. Your damage goes higher because you have more debuffs on them at a time. And you can see it's just stupid crazy. He's already down to 63% in 22 hits, which is something that's just absolutely unheard of. We throw a special 2, 10 neurotoxin were on there. Now he's up to 12. That's just unheard of. Like, it's such crazy damage. It's doing about 6,000 in the red. You can't even see fully. It's down to 10. We pause them right there, you see. So we're going to throw another special 1, 11 still, and the fight's basically over from here. So, in my opinion, Horseman Archangel just can't be beat. His ability to shut down every node is insane. His damage is insane. And you don't even need to rely on parry because his heavy reach is so good. So that concludes our list of the top 10 Horsemen / Apocalypse infused champions in MCOC. This is my list. You can feel free to leave yours below, but I think it's going to be fairly similar for this one. There might be some like controversy between Gambit, Wolverine Strife, Storm, Pyramid X, and Psylocke. Those can probably be moved, but I think spots 10 and 9 and then 1 and 2 are going to be pretty uncontroversial. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am going to record some Mr. Negative rank 1 6-star gameplay next, because I really do want to make the case for that guy that he is an absolutely stupid, insane character. I think he's a top 10 science champion, and I don't think enough people are giving him enough love. So I do want to get that as my next champion to be like, okay, this is going to be a cornerstone of my channel, because right now it's basically Apocalypse, but I think I want to add Mr. Negative onto that list because I love playing him, and I think he's just vastly underrated. So that's going to be what you're going to see next on the channel, and I did hope you guys liked this video, so I will see you in the next one.